How's it going, guys? Phil here, and this is a review for the LG Gram Max 17-inch touchscreen laptop. Thank you to Best Buy for sending me this product for free to try. You'll receive a pocket-sized 65-watt USB-C power adapter, 6-foot USB-C to USB-C charging cable, and instruction manuals. The laptop measures 15 inches wide, 10.5 inches long, and just half an inch thick, with a slight taper towards the front. On the right-hand side are two USB-A 3.2 ports and headphone mic combo port. And on the other side, you'll find an HDMI 2.1 port and two USB-C 4 Thunderbolt ports that both support DisplayPort out and double as power input. There are no ports or vents along the backside. On the bottom, there is a full-length vent towards the back, and 5 rubber feet with 2 additional lift points for added support. The downward-facing speakers towards the front support Dolby Atmos 3D surround sound for virtualized 360-degree audio. There are no visible screws anywhere on the unit, as the ones holding on the bottom panel are hidden beneath the rubber feet. That being said, it is possible to open up the laptop if you want to upgrade the included 1TB SSD or add additional storage, since there is a second unoccupied M.2 slot inside. The RAM, however, is soldered to the motherboard and not upgradable. The chassis of the laptop is made from an aluminum metal alloy that is durable and has a high-end look with its matte bronze finish and chrome embossed brand on the cover. The laptop is incredibly light, weighing less than 3.5 pounds, but still manages to be mil-spec 810H rated for resilience under extreme conditions. The small wall charger can be plugged into either USB-C port for charging the laptop, though I think it would have made more sense to put these ports on opposite sides rather than adjacent to one another. The screen opens to a maximum angle of around 135 degrees, and at the top in the middle is an integrated 2.1 megapixel webcam and dual array microphone. The full-sized keyboard has ultra-low profile keys, a numpad on the right-hand side, and half-size arrow keys just below the right-hand shift. There's also a dedicated Copilot key in place of a right-side control key. The mouse trackpad is very large, with a 6x4-inch area, and it is responsive to multi-finger clicks and gestures, like pinch to zoom and 3-finger swiping. Personally, for me, the keys were too mushy when pressed, despite having a higher than expected actuation force. I found this combination made typing somewhat more tedious, resulting in reduced speed and accuracy. I do like, though, that you can toggle on backlighting for the keys with 2 brightness levels, making them easy to see in the dark. Just remember that they will dim after 30 seconds of inactivity. This particular build is the 17Z90UB-H.AU99U3 and has an Intel Core Ultra X9 388H CPU, 1TB of SSD storage, 32GB of RAM, integrated Intel Arc B390 graphics, an IPS touch display, and the battery is rated for upwards of 26 hours of runtime. The laptop runs on a 77 watt-hour battery that uses AI-driven power management, though I found between 8 and 9 hours was a more realistic expectation for my usage habits that include video content creation, watching videos, and casual gaming. The power button is located at the top right-hand corner of the keyboard and has a status LED next to it. The first time you power on the laptop, you will need to complete Windows setup. As there is no Ethernet port for wired connections, you'll need to connect to a Wi-Fi network for internet access, and the device supports up to the latest Wi-Fi 7 standard for fast, reliable, and stable network connections. During setup, I chose to enable Face Sign-In via Windows Hello, which uses the webcam to detect your face so you don't need to enter a PIN or password to log in, although these will still be available as backup methods of entry. The screen has a max resolution of 2560 by 1600 pixels, with a fixed 60Hz refresh rate and 8-bit color depth that covers 99% of the DCI P3 color gamut. This makes the panel suitable for creators in art, photography, and video content creation. And I found the colors on the screen to be accurate and vibrant with good contrast. I especially appreciate how dark the blacks appear, despite the screen not being OLED. The display is glossy, however, so reflections and fingerprints may be visible on it. It has a max brightness of 350 nits, which is still decently bright when set at 80% to prolong battery life. The processor has a 2.1 GHz base clock with max boost speed of 5.1 GHz over 16 intelligent cores, delivering power and performance while keeping power consumption low. It handles exporting 4K video from Adobe Premiere just fine, and with speed and efficiency. And multitasking with various applications running simultaneously didn't bog down the system. The Bluetooth 6.0 adapter has lower latency than previous standards, for less audio lag, better stability and syncing, and channel sounding for near pinpoint accuracy of device location tracking, all while consuming less energy to extend battery life. The integrated graphics has impressive performance similar to a low-tiered dedicated GPU. Even though the refresh rate of the panel is fixed at 60 Hz, I was still able to play games like Halo Infinite and Counter-Strike 2 at full resolution, and get 60 to 75 frames per second on medium to high graphics settings using AI frame interpolation. I didn't experience any performance issues like stuttering, lag, or dropped frames, even while on battery power. When set to max performance in LG's MyGram, the fans ran continuously while under load to keep the unit cool, and did make a decent amount of noise. Most of the heat generated is concentrated above the keyboard deck, so the actual keys remain cool to the touch. In the MyGram application, you can enable other features like away from keyboard screen locking, and even USB-C offline charging, which lets you charge devices even when the laptop is turned off. There's optional AI features that can enhance mic and speaker sound quality via noise cancelling, smart EQ, and voice tracking. The sound from the speakers is just okay. And while you do get a sense of stereo separation and a little depth, the soundstage is fairly small and boxed in. Music can sound a bit thin in the upper ranges without much bass support. They are loud enough to drown out much of the fan noise, which will typically be running at full speed while gaming.
Create legosite after legosite. A fair warning, each beast will be stronger than the last. If you're still game, follow Kalimos.
Even so, I felt the volume levels were somewhat low, and at the highest setting produced noticeable distortion. You'll have a much richer and fuller listening experience if using headphones. I tested out LG's on-device GramChat AI, which is supposed to be able to help with device-specific tasks like offline file searching, adjusting system settings, translating and summarizing documents, and browsing computer usage history. A handful of sample prompts are provided. But when I tried to ask questions about the system, like how many megapixels is the webcam, it produced an answer that wasn't accurate. It seems like GramChat's ability to recognize simple prompts is unreliable if they're not within a narrow instruction set, making its usability and convenience fairly limited. Overall, the LG Gram Max is an excellent large format laptop, delivering plenty of power in a lightweight but durable machine that looks as good as it functions. I love it for daily and on-the-go use, as I can seamlessly transition from work to casual use or gaming with long-lasting battery performance that lasts the entire day. I hope you enjoyed this review. You can ask me any questions in the comments. I'll put a link to the product in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join me next time.